All right, it's day 16 at the Grand Enchantment Trail. This is my 0 day in Safford. Just to recap how I got here, yesterday I was doing the Ash Creek bypass, and the first part of the trail was pretty snowed in. And the first part of that snow part, I was post-holing up to my knee, which is annoying and tiring and slow, but you can get through. And then the next patch I visited, or I encountered, was ice, where I couldn't even kick in footsteps. If I had micro spikes, it wouldn't have been a problem, just would have been stomped over it, whatever. If I really wanted to, I probably could have scrambled around it. I'm sure that's what people have done who have gone through before me. But with the exhaustion from this last leg and the fact that I was running out of cell phone battery, I decided to go back to the main road, and there's a campground where you can reconnect with a detour a little further down. It's 5 miles longer than if you actually took the trail, so I was going to try to hitch. And luckily there was one woman there. It was the end of the road where it's gated. There was one woman there, and I flagged her down, and she was giving me a ride down to the campground, but then we started talking, and she invited me to lunch down in Safford, sorry, down in Safford. And it turned out that we both had things we needed from each other. I needed the ride. She had just lost her adventure buddy, her travel buddy, which was her cat, 15 years. So this was the first time she had been on one of these trips completely alone, and it happened the day before she left. So she really benefited from the companionship. I know on trail I've definitely had morale boosts from people I've encountered, so it's kind of fun to pay that back. And sometimes you got to look out for your fellow human. It's maybe a little bit more important than connecting steps. So I arrived in Safford yesterday, and I did my laundry. I got my shower for the first time in 10 days. Ooh, and let's give Carol credit too, because if somebody came jumping out of the tree line looking all disheveled and covered in soot, trying to get me to stop, let's be honest here, I don't know if I would have. I would have definitely thought about it twice, but she stopped, and it worked out great, and it was actually a great experience. So I just finished sewing up my shirt. It got torn to shreds out there. I think I described it as being attacked by a cougar while fighting fires. I hate sewing. I've been putting it off, but I have to show you guys this shirt. Okay, here's the shirt. So I usually don't like taking too many 0 days. I like being out on the trail more, but it gives you time to kind of assess your gear and the damage that's been done to your body. But let me show you this shirt. This is definitely this shirt's last adventure if it makes it all the way through. Look at all these repairs that I had to do. You can see the rougher ones are with the ones that were just flapping open, and I had to sew them up as I was going to bed at night. The charcoal came out of this, but, clearly the blood stains from the cat claw did not. Cat claw is funny because it's really sharp, and it really hurts in the instant that it grabs you, and it clearly makes blood splatter when it comes out. But if you look at my body in the shower, I can't really see the cat claw marks. I mean, I've got a lot of freckles on my body, but it looks worse than it actually is. It does really hurt when it first grabs you. But you know what? When I first got this Jolly Gear shirt, I called it the Frankenstein shirt because it's just a combination of a whole bunch of different apparel into one shirt. But now it's really the Frankenstein shirt because look at these rough stitches here. Okay, also, one of my pairs of socks got a big hole in it. I am supposed to get a package from the post office today, and it is supposed to have another pair of those, so hopefully that's fine. My bag got pretty ripped up by the cat claw too, so I need to clean this off, and I've got some type A repair patches that should work for that. And then here's kind of a big issue. These are the states of my shoes. You can see they're caked in mud, because when I wasn't hiking in snow in that one section, it was like ankle deep mud. And credit to Carol again, she picked me up and let me get in her car looking like this. But you can see the treads on my shoes are getting really worn in the front and the back. So that's a bit of an issue. And then as far as my body's concerned, it's really interesting getting in the shower on these 0 days. My shoulder was irritated from the bee sting that I got in the Santa Teresa's, and I thought it was irritated just because it's right at the part where my strap rubs when I put my backpack on. But I got in the shower, and I did look at it. I looked at it with my headlamp when at night. When I got in the shower, it turns out that the itty bitty last part of the stinger was still there. So I was walking around for like 3 days with part of a bee stinger in my shoulder. So I took that out and it's calming down. Imagine that. Another problem with the shower is this hotel it's a cheap hotel. So it's kind of slick tile with a very, very thin mat that doesn't have any sticky stuff to like hold it on. So when I washed myself off yesterday and I was getting out of the shower and I was looking at the damage to my legs, I actually slipped. I slipped and fell. And so now I have a wrist sprain, a mild wrist sprain, which from a bathroom slip is probably the best case scenario. I mean, it's fine. I have range of motion. It just hurts when I grab stuff a little bit. And it's a mild pain too. It's just annoying. So the reason that happened is because my legs have some impressive bruises. I don't usually show leg bruises. I usually don't think people want to see them, but one of them's a little impressive. In the Santa Teresa's, of course, I did trip and I fell on like a wedge-shaped rock with like the sharp point up, and it made a pretty impressive bruise. So I'm going to show it real quick. Just look away if you don't want to see it. That's a pretty good one. You can see exactly where the edge of the rock hit right there. Yeah, I've got like scrapes on my hands too, obviously. This one, I actually don't know how I got. This one may have been from when I fell one of those times in the Santa Teresa's. I didn't even know it was there until I washed the dirt off of my leg. So I headed out from my hotel right now to do my town chores. I'm going to the post office and the grocery store. You can actually see, sorry about the traffic, can actually see the mountain range I just came down from. And apparently my buddy Masochist is still up here. So I think Clark's Peak is somewhere over here. And you can see there's not as much snow, but the stuff I kind of bailed on is like over here. He did too. I thought he was way ahead of me. Apparently he's having some foot issues. So he also skipped that really snowy part of the trail, but instead of getting a ride, he's road walking to the campground spur and going to take the detour from there. So I'm bringing my backpack and I'm walking to the post office first and then to the grocery store. Almost walked right past it. This is the post office here. I was distracted by this cute little street right here. This is 5th Street. All right, my package is there this time. Awesome. So now I'm going to be heading to the Thrifty supermarket, which is down this way somewhere. You know, it's funny. I was kind of dropped off in a little bit more of an industrial area, but the little main part of Safford is super cute. Look at this. A lot of little shops. Thrifty supermarket. This is pretty big, so this should have everything I need. Ooh, look at all this. This is a big store. Isn't a look at those mountains just right from the grocery store. That was one of the best stocked resupplies I think I've ever had on trail. I got absolutely everything I needed and then some and then more. I was a little bit of a big spender. But heading back to the hotel now, gonna sort through my food, gonna look over the next section. Might as well look at this because it's prettier. Look over the next section of the trail and get prepped. So it's about the end of the day now, and I think I had a successful day, especially given how hard that last section was. I got all my food, I've got it packed, I got lots of food in my body, I got lots of hydration, got lots of rest. Got lots of repairs done. My shirt feels amazing. The sleeves are so light and silky. During that last stretch, they kind of became cardboardy because of all the sweat and dirt. So it's ooh, it feels good. My package had extra socks and the extra solar charger. So I really, really needed it on this last section, but I also will need it on this next section because it's going to be pretty long. So Tomorrow, I am going to start out from Safford towards the Safford Morenci Trail.